In almost every suburb across the country, Australians are feeling the pressure of a tight rental market. In Riverwood, a working-class pocket of Sydney, 19 kilometres from the CBD, Arafat Mannan and his growing family are being forced out of their second home in 12 months.
It's a bit overwhelming, and we're expecting our second child, in October. And we just received our vacant notice for this property we're living in 2 weeks ago.
How long have you been in this property for?
Nearly 9 months, and we just received our eviction notice, as I mentioned.
He says the landlord has decided that a family member will take over the property. For the last 7 years, Arafat Mannan rented just down the road, but was forced out in November. Before the move, his rent had skyrocketed.
From 500 in 2 years, it went 650 straight away in one jump, and from 650 to 720.
The rent at his current home is also $720 per week. He says much more than half of his income is put to covering the costs of his housing.
If you just add the utility and other things, then literally 85%. Literally no savings at all.
Not far away, the suburb of Revesby has seen some of the biggest rental growth in Sydney in the last 12 months. Units alone have gone up more than 20%. G'day, Dean.
G'day, mate.
Dean Stoyanovsky has been managing properties in this area for decades.
She's a bit steep, Mike.
That's right, it keeps going up. He's showing us a property where the rent has jumped almost $200 a week in 2 years. Dean, tell me about this place.
Mate, it's a 5-bedroom home, 2 bath, 1 car. It's going for $700 a week.
Why is this sitting at $700 a week?
Oh, Mike, as you can see, it's in its original state, and given the prices that are going around the area for a lot newer place, the owner was a bit more reasonable in seeking $700 for this place.
So a property like this, how many people would be applying for it?
Oh, given this one, at most open homes we get up to 10 groups. You know, we've had people that put applications through prior seeing the property, trying to get their foot in the door earlier.
It still shows that we are in a rental crisis. We're just moving away from the extreme conditions that we had seen previously.
Dr Nicola Powell is the Domain Group's Chief of Research and Economics.
We have record high rents across the vast majority of our major capital cities, but one of the key things that we've started to see is a slowdown in the pace of rental price growth. What that means is rents are rising in some areas, but particularly for house rents, they've actually plateaued over the most recent quarter across many of our capital cities.
Across the country, the latest Domain data has the median asking price for rentals sitting at $650 a week for both houses and units. The most expensive place for a rental remains in Sydney, where the median weekly rent for a house is $780 and $740 for a unit. Perth and Canberra are sitting second. Hobart is the cheapest.
We have seen multiple years where tenants were facing double-digit increases in asking rents. Nobody's wages has increased as much as what we have seen in asking rents over that 5-year period.
After you, Mike.
In Sydney's southern suburbs at Mortdale, $790 a week is the asking price for this 3-bedroom house. What are prospective tenants telling you about the market conditions right now?
They're telling you it's very tough, very expensive.
What factor is supply playing in all of this?
Yeah, there's not enough supply.
We haven't had enough supply meet population growth. We haven't seen enough investment activity across our different capital cities. And particularly during the peak of the pandemic, we saw a reduction in number of people per household. And when you see a reduction in household size, what that means is you need more homes to house the same amount of Australians.
The national vacancy rate, the percentage of properties in the private rental market which are sitting empty, remains very low. Nationally, it's sitting at 0.9% for the June quarter. In Darwin, Hobart, Adelaide and Perth, it's even tighter. Sydney is at 1.1% and the highest vacancy rate is in Melbourne at 1.3%. Just 4 kilometres from Melbourne CBD is the inner city suburb of Kensington, where rents for units have seen some of the highest jumps.
So this is fairly typical of what you'll see in the Kensington market at the moment, so 3-bedroom unit.
Okay, how much a week is this going for?
This is $6.30 per week.
Where does it
In
sit?
terms of the Melbourne market, this is right on average. This is right on par with what you'll see out there. Got a car space down in the community bay.
Just across the river in Maribyrnong, these record high rents are most evident in one-bedroom apartments. This one, with water glimpses, is up for lease for $450 a week.
Prior to COVID, this would have hovered around $300, $350. During COVID, it dropped right down to about $280, and now it's going to re-enter at that higher price.
The current vacancy rate seen across the country has property analysts declaring it a landlord's market.
A landlord's market is when the vacancy rate sits below 2%. For a balanced rental market, we need that vacancy rate to be sitting between 2 and 3%.
This is a two-bedroom place.
This one's a little bit unusual. It's on the market for $425 per week, largely because the owner's also got it up for sale.
Are we seeing a lot of these properties being put to market?
Yeah, unfortunately at the moment there are a lot of owners who are cashing out. The introduction of lots of taxes, minimum standards legislation means that it's costing owners more and it's harder for them to be able to hold on to those investments long term.
We have seen 2 rate reductions this year, which has obviously helped to ease that burden, but ultimately the cost of holding a mortgage is high. And then when you look at other costs like land taxation changes, for example, in Victoria, that also has impacts on landlords and their holding costs of having that investment property.
Can you see rent prices in the near future going down?
No, probably not likely. We're expecting more growth as we head into the next couple of years.
That's not good news for Arafat and his family.
There's nowhere in the city now it is affordable. Doesn't matter where I go. We just want a fair go. That's all we want.